Shalom. This is August the 6th in the year of 2013. We would like to wish everyone a peaceful and happy Rosh Hashana on this date, which began yesterday evening during the evening prayer or after the evening prayer, and it will last until this evening, until the evening prayer. This reading is from Leviticus chapter 23. And the Adonai spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feast of the Adonai, which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations, even these are my feasts. 6 days shall work be done, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of rest. In holy convocation you shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Adonai in all your dwellings. These are the feasts of the Adonai, even holy convocations, which you shall proclaim in their seasons. In the 14th day of the first month at even is the Adonai's Passover. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Adonai. 7 days you must eat unleavened bread. In the first day you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no servile work therein, but you shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Adonai 7 days. And the seventh day is an holy convocation. You shall do no servile work therein. And the Adonai spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when you be come into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap of the harvest thereof, then you shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest. And he shall wave the sheaf before the Adonai, to be accepted for you. On the morrow after the Sabbath the priest shall wave it. And you shall offer that day, when you wave the sheaf, an he lamb without blemish of the first year for a burnt offering unto the Adonai. And the meat offering thereof shall be 2 tenth deals of fine flour mingled with oil, an offering made by fire unto the Adonai for a sweet savor. And the drink offering thereof shall be of wine, the 4th part of an hin. And you shall eat neither bread nor parched corn, nor green ears, until the selfsame day that you have brought an offering unto your Adonai. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. And you shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that you brought the sheaf of the wave offering, 7 Sabbaths shall be complete. Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall you number 50 days, and you shall offer a new meat offering unto the Adonai. You shall bring out of your habitation 2 wave loaves of 2 tenths deals. They shall be of fine flour. They shall be baken with leaven. They are the first fruits unto the Adonai. And you shall offer with the bread 7 lambs without blemish of the first year, and 1 young bullock, and 2 rams. They shall be for a burnt offering unto the Adonai, with their meat offering, and their drink offerings, even an offering made by fire of sweet savor unto the Adonai. Then you shall sacrifice 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and 2 lambs of the first year for a sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall wave them with the bread of the first fruits for a wave offering before the Adonai. With the 2 lambs they shall be holy to the Adonai for the priests. And you shall proclaim on the selfsame day that it may be a holy convocation unto you. You shall do no servile work therein. It shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations. And when you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not make clean riddance of the corners of your field when you reap, neither shall you gather any gleanings of your harvest. You shall leave them unto the poor, and to the stranger. I am the Adonai, your creator. And the Adonai spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month, in the 1st day of the month, you shall have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, and holy convocation. You shall do no several work therein, but you shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Adonai. And the Adonai spoke unto Moses, saying, Also on the 10th day of this 7th month there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be a holy convocation unto you, and you shall afflict your souls and offer an offering made by fire unto the Adonai. And you shall do no work in that same day, for it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before the Adonai, your Creator. For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people. And whatsoever soul it be that doeth any work in that same day, the same soul will I destroy from among his people. You shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and you shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month at even. From even unto even shall you celebrate your Sabbath. Before the week of the 10 high holy days, before the day of Rosh Hashana, within those 30 days, all of the debts for the year, all of the tidings, the tenths for the year should be caught up and made, and all of the financial transactions for the year should be concluded within those 30 days. So we begin in the 2nd lunar Hebraic month as the beginning of our calendar for the sanctuary, as well as the individual jurisdictions. And you'll begin to calculate from that as the first month for your cycles throughout the months up into the next year, as well as the half shekel, the holy half shekel of the sanctuary should also be renewed, as well as the offerings, the 5 shekels, silver shekels of the sanctuary should also be renewed for the firstborns. They're also called the first fruits in the scriptures. When we say Rosh Hashana, we're saying Rosh, Rais, or Ras, which means head, as in the head of a human being, the top. And in this sense, when we say Rosh or Hashana, Hashana is also Asana or Hasana, which is rooted in Asana, which means time or year. In this instance, we're saying the head of the year, which is the 12-month period of the lunar cycle, where we count from the 1st month up to the 7th month on to the 12th month, going through the zodiac and the 4 seasons and the 2 solstices. So as we approach the Rosh and the Hashana, we're talking about the head of the time or the head of the year, where we're preparing to go into the dark months, the months where fall, autumn comes and the leaves appear to fall from the trees, and the sun begins to fall south towards the equator and begins to go into its next 3 months cycles after it enters into the autumn equinox, the autumn solstice, which actually begins around August 21st in between the dates of August 20th and August 21st, the equinox comes in. So the Rosh is also related to, you'll hear words like Rais, which means the head, also spoken of in Genesis, where it speaks about Adam and Eve being cast out from the garden, as well as the serpent, and they would be prophesied to be forever future enemies, and the children of Adam would crush the serpent's head with the heel of his foot, and then the serpent would bite the heel of the children of Adam and cause them to fall. And this would be an eternal battle. Both of them would have children, Adam and Eve, on down to Cain and Abel, to Noah, down to Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Israel, the 12 tribes, Moses, Jesus, the Judites, Abraham, Ishmael, Kedar, Quraysh, Prophet Muhammad, and on the Midianite side, from Nimrod's daughter, Keturah, who had the 6 sons, the Midianites, who were also sons of Abraham under the covenant of Abraham. So when we say the heel shall crush the head of the serpent, we're talking about the Ras, the Rais, the head of the serpent will be crushed by the children of Adam. But in return, in the battle, the children of Adam will be poisoned. They will be bitten at the lower part of the heel. The heel is a part of the foundation of the foot, which holds the body firm on the ground. It's the foundation. And if a snake bites a person on their foot, then the first reaction is to fall down, as the fallen angels have fallen. They wish to make humanity fall just like them, in the Rosh and in the Hashanah. And then you also have the movement referred to as the Rastafarian movement. You'll hear the same word, Rosh or Ras Tafari. And Ras, again, is the head, and Tafari is 3, or Trinity. And we're talking about the father of the Trinity, the Rastafari. And this relates back to the Coptic church, where in the Coptic, the original Coptic, or the Kuptia, the center of the teachings of Yashua al-Mashiach, Jesus the Messiah, when he was taken out of Israel, because Herod was killing all of the firstborn, and he was trying to find out where the Messiah was going to be. So he was trying to kill the actual Messiah. So they had to take him out of Israel and bring him down into Egypt. And as it's written, it's also written in the New Testament that he was there for 7 years. These were the first followers of Jesus, the original Coptic church, as they referred to as. But it was the Coptic monastery or the Coptic temple, because churches didn't come about later until like around 300, 400 AD, during the establishment of Christianity in Europe. But when you get down into Ethiopia, you're talking about Aksum, you're talking about Meore, and into Egypt, you're talking about Thebes and ancient kingdoms that were set up in ancient mystic schools, where the elders had come and set up different schools under Melchizedek, which was the high priest. And when Jesus was brought down into Egypt, he stayed there, as said before, for 7 years, as a child and was protected until after the death of Herod. They went back up into Israel, where he continued his ministry, on up from 8 years up to 13, where he received his bar mitzvah, the son of the covenant, on up to the age 33, and then coming back into Egypt at the age of 120 and studying the last 7 schools, and then passing on into the higher mystic life at the age of 120 after passing the 7 tests in the Saqqara pyramid. Now, when we talk about the Coptic Christian church, we're talking about, or shall I say, Christian temple. We're talking about the time where before the Prophet Muhammad, who was a descendant of Ishmael from Kedar in the tribe of Quraysh, from Prophet Abraham, Father Abraham, and his wife, Princess Hajar. By the time we get down to his day and time, we had several different groups of people that had branched off from Israel and Christianity. You had, as spoken in the Quran, you have a group called Yahudi, the Yehuda, and you'll see them translate that as Jews, which will give you the wrong impression of, as if they're talking about the people that are in Israel today. The people that are in Israel today didn't begin to migrate there until 1947, 1943, during those years where they were being evacuated out of Germany in Europe for religious persecution. And they were Sephardim as well as Ashkenazim, Russian, Sephardi, Spanish Jews, people who had converted to Judaism in Europe. And during the persecution period in the Holocaust, a lot of them were being evacuated down into Israel. Those were not bloodline descendants of the Israelites. They were just given a safe haven in the state of Israel. But at that time, the children of Israel were in bondage due to the curse that had been brought upon our forefathers for worshiping the idols and falling away from the laws of our covenant, just as people are doing today. But it was prophesied in Genesis that the seed of Abraham will be taken into a strange land for 400 years. And it specifically names a tribe of people, the Amorites, who would be over them. And the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. And the prophecy says that they shall come out in the 4th generation with great substance. So there are other parts of that prophecy that are taking place, that are being fulfilled right now. So when we speak about the other groups, we have the Yehudi, that they mistranslate as Jews. It is actually the word, you can hear it, Yahudi, Judah. It is the tribe of Judah. Those were the judges over Israel whenever they were allowed to judge themselves again. Because in times of captivity, the Persians, the Babylonians, and different nations of people around Israel were the actual rulers over Israel. And what they would do is periodically let them still pick their own judges and judge over their own people. And these judges were chosen from the tribe of Judah, because Judah was the tribe that Solomon and David came from, which were the first judges. And they had established the courts, as you hear, the courts of Solomon and the courts of David. These were the judicial courts. Judicial is the same word, Judah, Judas, Judah, Yahudah, tribe of Judah. This is where the judicial branch comes from in governmentary systems: executive, legislative, judicial. The judiciary branch is the branch of the judges. And you'll see you have a whole book of judges where you'll see there were good judges and bad judges over Israel. The majority of them were bad, and they led the people back into idol worship and usury and a lot of things you see judges do today. All right, so we have the Yehudi, which is really Judah. Then you have the Nasara, which is Nazarite. It is not the word Christian. The word Christian is the word Kisisi, which is actually translated from the Greek word Christian. And that is the Christians that were in Europe, the European Christians, people who had converted from Greek and Roman, Hellenistic worship, worshiping Zeus, Apollo, and the different Greek and Roman gods, and they had converted to the new Christianity religion in Constantinople when Christianity was first being put together in Antioch. As you read in the New Testament, the disciples were first called Christians in Antioch, and that is in Greece. All right, but before that we had the Coptic or the Coptic. Because as you see, Jesus was down in Egypt for 7 years. So there was a group down there after he had left that had formulated the original center of the followers of the Messiah. And then at a later time, you'll see that he goes back, and those people were still there as they are today. But there are various denominations, even in the modern-day Coptic church, where the original ones still practiced the Rosh Hashana, the Yom Kippur, the Shabbat, the Sabbath, all of the different sacraments that was passed down through the Judites and the Levitical priesthood, and it was passed on down. So the Judites that had migrated down as descendants from Solomon. Solomon had a son by Queen Sheba named Menelik, and Menelik had migrated down back to the ancient empire, Ethiopia or Aksum, and there had brought down the Ark of the Covenant with him. And it is also said that it was brought over onto a specific island, and they have actual markings where the posts used to be and different relics that were kept from the priests moving the ark from place to place around this island. And then it was said it was brought from the island back over to the mainland and put into the original church. And then Emperor Haile Selassie had a new church built not too far from the other church beside it, and the ark was placed in there, where it is believed to be today under the protection of some priests, direct bloodline descendants of the house of Judah and the priesthood. Now, in the original older Ethiopian Coptic Aksumite teachings, we have some of the original tablets that were brought down and inscribed on actual gold and silver and copper tablets, somewhat like the tablets that were recorded in Qumran and found by the Dead Sea, referred to as the Dead Sea Scrolls. But in Aksum, we have inscriptions that are much older, and they date back to Meore, Ramses. When you look at the Egyptian writings,
you'll see there are different Egyptian scripts. You have the archaic, Demotic, hieratic, different scripts. And then you had different empires or dynasties that came in there with their own variations of these scripts. But when you look back to the Maori Empire, you'll see the same Egyptian hieroglyphics that Ramses was using during the time of the Israelites. And this is the much more older script as opposed to some of the more modern scripts that were influenced by the Chinese that came down during the Hyksos dynasty, as well as Caesar, Augustus, and Cleopatra, and them, who brought in Greek and Latin influences into Egypt during the Alexandria Empire up towards the Mediterranean and the Delta part. So you would have a northern and a southern empire. This is why you would always see the pharaoh with the diadem or the headpiece that would have the cobra and the falcon, and one would represent the upper empire and the other would represent the lower empire. And the pharaoh, king or prince, who would wear those diadems would show that he is the ruler of all of Nubia, the north and the south. One who would just wear one will represent which particular nome or region he was in, and the diadem of the north. Same thing with the south. You will have your 42, 47, 49 nomes, provinces or districts, and below the border, as you might have it, the same thing would take place. He would have a particular diadem, headpiece that would identify him only with the southern region or empire, and another nome symbol of his particular region that he would rule over.
It is also part of our customs and traditions to read from the Book of Hosea, chapter 14, on the Sabbath through the 10 high holy days, which is the seventh day. But in this instance, we'll read the whole Book of Hosea, starting from chapter 1, verse 1. Hashim. The word of the Adonai that came unto Hosea, the son of Beer, in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel, the beginning of the word of the Adonai by Hosea. And the Adonai said to Hosea, Go, take unto you a wife of whoredoms and children of whoredoms, for the land has committed great whoredom, departing from the Adonai. So he went and took Gomer, the daughter of Diblaim, which conceived and bare him a son. And the Adonai said unto him, Call his name Israel, for yet a little while, and I will avenge the blood of Israel upon the house of Jehu, and will cause to cease the kingdom of the house of Israel. And it shall come to pass at that day that I will break the bow of Israel in the valley of Jezreel. And she conceived again and bare a daughter. And the Adonai said unto him, Call her name Lo-Ruhamah, for I will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel, but I will utterly take them away. But I will have mercy upon the house of Judah, and will save them by the Adonai their Creator, and will not save them by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, by horses, nor by horsemen. Now when she had weaned Lo-Ruhamah, she conceived and bare a son. Then said, Adonai, call his name Lo-Ammi, for you are not my people, and I will not be your creator. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, You are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, You are the sons of the living Creator. Then shall the children of Yehudah and the children of Israel be gathered together, and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel. The scroll of Hosea, chapter 2, verse 1. Hashem. Say you unto your brethren, Ami, and to your sisters, Ruhamah, plead with your mother. Plead, for she is not my wife, neither am I her husband. Let her therefore put away her whoredoms out of her sight, and her adulteries from between her breasts. Lest I strip her naked, and set her as in the day that she was born, and make her as a wilderness, and set her like a dry land, and slay her with thirst. And I will not have mercy upon her children, for they be the children of whoredoms. For their mother has played the harlot. She has conceived them, has done shamefully. For she said, I will go after my lovers that give me my bread, and my water, my wool, and my flax, my oil, and my drink. Therefore, behold, I will hedge up your way with thorns, and make a wall, that she shall not find her paths. And she shall follow after her lovers, but she shall not overtake them. And she shall seek them, but shall not find them. Then shall she say, I will go and return to my first husband, for then was it better with me than now. For she did not know that I gave her corn and wine and oil, and multiplied her silver and gold, which they prepared for Baal. Therefore will I return and take away my corn in the time thereof, and my wine in the season thereof, and will recover my wool and my flax given to cover her nakedness. And now will I discover her lewdness in the sight of her lovers, and none shall deliver her out of my hand. I will cause all her mirth to cease, her feast days, her new moons, and her Sabbaths, and all her solemn feasts. And I will destroy her vines and her fig trees, whereof she has. These are my rewards that my lovers have given me, and I will make them a farce, and the beasts of the field shall eat them. And I will visit upon her the days of Baalim, wherein she burned incense to them, and she decked herself with her earrings and her jewels, and she went after her lovers, and forgot me, said the Adonai. Therefore, behold, I will allure her, and bring her into the wilderness, and speak comfortably unto her. And I will give her her vineyards from there, in the valley of Achor, for a door of hope. And she shall sing there, as in the days of her youth, and as in the day when she came up out of the land of Egypt. And it shall be at that day, said the Adonai, that you shall call me Ishi, and shall call me no more Baali. For I will take away the names of Baalim out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name. And in that day will I make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of heaven, and with the creeping things of the ground. And I will break the bow, and the sword, and the battle out of the earth, and will make them to lie down safely. And I will betroth you unto me forever. Yea, I will betroth you unto me in righteousness, and in judgment, and in loving kindness, and in mercies. I will even betroth you unto me in faithfulness, and you shall know the Adonai. And it shall come to pass in that day, I will hear, said the Adonai, I will hear the heavens, and they shall hear the earth. And the earth shall hear the corn, and the wine, and the oil, and they shall hear Jezreel. And I will sow her unto me in the earth, and I will have mercy upon her that had not obtained mercy. And I will say to them, which were not my people, you are my people. And they shall say, you are my Creator.